What's up, everybody? How's it going? Long time no see or voice. I'm not really sure
Or
what to call
talk.
it. Talk. But
Listen.
welcome everybody to the Deep Thoughts podcast number 16. Actually, the first episode of the new year of 2019. As always, to my left or to your right, depending if you're on the other side of the world, I guess. My co-host, Pixel. Pixel, how's it going?
Hey, it's going all right.
Cool, cool.
Doing my thing.
Yeah, how's 2019 treating you? It's like
Oh, it's
we're
pretty good
like
so
2
far.
months in.
We're a good 1.5 months in, and it is flying by.
No, yeah, it really is.
It really is, yeah.
But yeah, funny thing is I got a tweet on the Deep Thoughts podcast Twitter, a DM, and it
Really?
was from some random guy. Like it was an egg account. But he was like, I can tell that you two don't talk off stream a lot. It's the most random thing I've ever heard in my life. So shout outs to that guy. But we actually do talk a lot off stream. So
Am I supposed to feel offended by
I
that?
don't know. I think he was white knighting you. It was really weird.
Really?
Yeah, but spoiler alert, guys, we talk a lot off stream. Or whatever. I wouldn't have chosen Pixel for this co-hosting gig if we didn't vibe at least to some type of degree and enjoy each other's company. But I believe the last time that we talked, it was the 2018 year in review of Twitch, where we kind of talked and went over Fortnite and stuff like that. And so this year, a lot of stuff has changed. Not that much, unfortunately, guys, for us to come out with an episode. Unfortunately, just for anyone who doesn't follow our Twitter and all of that good stuff, we don't really have a schedule, unfortunately, anymore for this podcast, only because articles and Twitch related news hasn't really been coming out that consistently of stuff that we can talk about and stuff like that. We might go eventually to some topical stuff. I know there was some stuff that I've personally wanted to talk about when it came to partner versus affiliate type of mentality, or the mentality of growing your stream, or even just mental health within Twitch. But those are just ideas that we've been shooting around for a while. So unfortunately, we don't really have a schedule for the podcast. We can't guarantee that it will be every Tuesday or every week or every 2 weeks. I'm hoping at this point we can at least do it every month.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah,
that's the goal for sure.
Honestly, I feel like the months leading up to TwitchCon Europe, we might actually feel a lull in news, just because they might be saving a lot of that for TwitchCon Europe.
Right.
So I think this is going to be a weird time. There's not going to be too much to report on, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that being said, if you guys didn't know, we're on Spotify and iTunes. If you ever want to hear past episodes, you can check out those links down in the episode's description below. You can also check out our YouTube and our various live feeds, the main one being at twitch.tv/Ryan Kubo. You can check out all the links to Pixel and I's social medias down in the description below, and to all the podcast social medias in your episode descriptions below as well. Luckily, though, since we've waited kind of I don't know, I feel like it's been about a month actually, because we did the reflection around the first week of January or so. It was last week, December, end of January, because we talked about the Fortnite New Year's party thing on that podcast. So it had to have been after New Year's Eve. But so it's been about a month, and we actually got a ton of news. A lot of it just being PSAs, in my opinion, and maybe just giving our thoughts about features that have finally come out that were announced at TwitchCon and stuff. But with that being said, let's just get right into it with this article right here on moderation. But new channel moderation tools are now live in chat. This is something that we talked about on our TwitchCon episode, that mod tools were going to be coming to Twitch, upgraded ones, I should say, which added pretty much a log viewer feature. So everyone who is in chat that types, all their logs are recorded now.
Yes.
You also get a little infograph of how many times they've been timed out, how many times they've been banned, as well as comments from mods. Just FYI, these tools are only available for you, obviously, if you are a mod. If you are just a subscriber, a pleb, even a VIP, you will not be able to see any of these logs. So keep that in mind, guys, that your logs are being tracked and anything you say is being tracked.
Yeah. And in addition to that, not only are they being tracked, but they have been tracked
Yeah.
back until 2017. So
Yeah.
around October 2017 is when they started logging everybody. So if you have any kind of messages since then, it has all been logged. It's terrible to scroll through, but it's all there.
Right. So, as a moderator myself of a couple of channels, I have not really used these, to be honest, since they were announced and since they came out on January 31st, to be honest. I use a client called ModChat, which is pretty useful in my opinion, that I really like, that uses its own log viewing system. One of the issues I had is that unfortunately you can't import there's no way to import the log mod notes to this version of ModChat. So if you guys are thinking of switching over, or if your streamer is switching over that you moderate for, just keep in mind that
Yeah.
there's no notes, so you'll have to go back and set notes for people who were banned in the past or that type of stuff. So I haven't personally used these features. My moderation teams, I shouldn't say my moderation teams, but the moderation teams that I am on personally, they like using ModChat and CBenny and LogViewer. I believe we're going to continue to use those, but this is something nice to have, I think, just in case we need a backup if for some reason CBenny comes down. So, Pixel, this is your time to shine. What do you think of the new mod tools? Initially, goods, bads, and then I guess I'll just add to it whenever.
Personally, I really really love having this. It's something that you can use cross. I don't want to say platform, but cross site. So whatever mod sword you have for whatever channel, you can use the same set of tools, and it's all going to be familiar. It's all going to be right there.
Mm-hmm.
I The only thing is that it's still really really new, and so there's a wish list of stuff that I want to have in the future, like being able to export messages. That would be really cool, because if you've ever looked at the interface, it's a pain to scroll through. It loads about 20 messages at a time, and if you want to go further back, you scroll up, you wait for the server to load those next batch of messages, and then you go again. So
Right.
that whole interface is really clunky and slow. So if you need to find a very obscure message from way back, then it's going to be difficult. Um, that being said, I think for now, it was funny. The first week that this was launched, it was basically used to troll.
Of course, yeah.
I like the just the mod comments section is just that. That's all we were using it for, was just putting troll comments for whoever we could,
Right.
and just oh hey, the broadcaster, we just put a mod comment on him.
Yeah, yeah.
So I like the idea. It's a little bit of upkeep, so
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good for smaller channels. For bigger channels, it's too unwieldy personally to use. So I think with ModChat and CBenny and all those tools, I think it's going to be much better. But for
Mm-hmm.
small ones where you only need to do one random search, oh hey, someone got banned and they're asking why, you can just use /user and then their name, and you just pull it up real quick, and you can find that out.
Right.
So and even if a message is deleted, it still logs that too, which is pretty vital. So it's good for what it is. It's good for when you have simple needs and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to have a lot of other complex tools that CBenny can do for you. So it's really nice. I hope they improve on it, because I can see this really being a core asset of a mod.
Right, right. The thing with me is I would probably use the tools more, but like you said, there's a couple of issues that I don't like. I don't like the loading time when it comes to the comments and stuff like that. I'm also kind of sad that the mod tools aren't there for mobile. And I feel like that's when
Yeah.
that's probably for me personally, because I obviously can't if load up CBenny and look at someone's logs when I'm out and about. But if I could just initially just click on someone's name and then just in mobile and just view the logs really quick,
Yeah.
that would be super useful for me on mobile, because most of the time when people are like, hey, why was I banned? For me at least, it's maybe 1 out of 5, maybe 1 out of 10 are they did something 4 months ago. You know what I mean? So I don't have to scroll back. Usually it's like very obvious. It's like, boom, right there. I see your logs. Like,
Right.
this is why you were banned. It's clearly because of this reasoning.
Hmm.
But I wish that was on mobile, and they haven't implemented this into mobile yet. And I'm sure there's plans for it, but yeah.
There really aren't any mod tools for mobile at all. Like, I mean,
Yeah, there
it's you
isn't.
have to type out the timeout command. Like, you actually have to use your keyboard to type /timeout.
Yeah, and
Right.
there's a bug on Android. Well, at least on my phone. Actually, a couple of mods have been complaining about this, but there's a bug too where sometimes it will show that command typed out, but still do it anyway. I don't like that.
Ugh.
Like, there's times when I was like /timeout, or like I clicked on someone's name and it's like, "Do you want a timeout?" And I said timeout, and then it typed in chat /timeout space whatever the username is. It did time them out, but everyone in chat was like, "Lol, this guy just timed you out." Like, it showed that I timed him out, like, because it literally
That's
showed the
yeah, that's
text of
weird.
/timeout. So
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
like
like
that.
using I don't like using mobile for that one. That's one of the reasons why, honestly.
Yeah,
But I mean, in general, I probably would have utilized it more if it wasn't because of that.
yeah. I feel it's like such a niche thing. Like, how many users actually watch Twitch and mod from mobile? Like, that has to be a tremendously small amount of people.
Yeah, it probably is like a really small amount. I wouldn't be surprised, but it would still be useful just to have it all like, just in one place, like across all platforms, right? Like, even
Yeah,
though it is pretty small, it would be nice for me to be able to do,
yeah.
because there are times when off stream, even I'll get a whisper and I'm not at home,
Hmm.
and if I want to just check it really quick, I can't.
Mm.
And so it'd be
That
easier just to kind of nip it in the butt right then and there.
Yeah, no, that could be a good interface. Just like have a separate tab like within the Twitch app, just like your
Right,
modding tools, and you can actually just look up stuff from there.
right.
So I mean, that'd be useful. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can go with
Anything
it.
else you wanted to kind of mention about this, though, about the mod tools? Overall, you're pretty happy with them. Any wish lists, I guess, you could have? You said exporting the mod tools, or the mod messages and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
just for easier access to messages, I that would be cool.
mm-hmm,
That's a lot of messages to have to serve though. Like
mm-hmm,
if this stuff has been recorded back until 2017 and users has been really really active,
mm-hmm,
and they like suddenly get banned or something like that, you could have thousands and on thousands, maybe even like tens of thousands of messages.
mm-hmm.
So downloading that into like an Excel would be like a huge list.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
And if that's being quested over and over again, that's a lot of bandwidth. I mean, it's on my wish list. I really would love that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of space that they're like dedicating to messages already.
Yep.
So yeah, it's something I would like, but I'm not gonna be too angry if it doesn't come because like it's a lot. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I like it.
Right. All right. I think next up we're just going to talk about a couple of like other things, kind of like that's just some quick PSA articles that I found about some things that maybe not a lot of people knew about or whatever. First one up is actually one from Twitter, and it's actually dashboard changes that ended up happening, on your official dashboard. The next couple articles are going to be like this, guys, because they're just pretty short, and I just kind of wanted to just let everyone know these might be things that you don't know. But apparently, on your dashboard, where that's obviously where you guys stream and stuff like that, they've rolled out a new feature on your live dashboard where all the widgets can be popped out and
Hmm.
the screen can be arranged however you like. So I didn't know. I just thought this was interesting. I actually have used it a couple times, but if you go over to like stream information, there's a little button. You click it and it pops out just stream information. So now you guys don't have to have your whole dashboard open or everything minimized and stuff like that if you
Nice.
don't want to or whatever. I don't know. I like the change. I haven't really used it that much though, to be honest, because I have a dashboard over on like a third-party bot that I use. But yeah,
Hmm.
just FYI, dashboard changes, pretty cool. I've enjoyed
Yeah,
them.
yeah, very cool.
I've liked them a lot. Next up, the one thing that I kind of wanted to mention as well is, let's see. Oh, okay, I can't say this stupid word. Cumulative subs are here. Is that how you say the word?
Cumulative.
Sure, that is here. I can't pronounce it. Basically, Pixel, do you want to explain what this is all about and what the changes are? They mentioned it at TwitchCon as well, guys. So this is
Yeah,
something
sure.
that kind of is a little older, but go ahead.
Yeah, so previously, if you didn't know, subscriptions They existed only as streaks. Like, so if you were subscribed to a streamer, you had to keep it going in order to maintain that level of the streak, they call it, and that gave you access to like different badges, subscriber badges, and things like that. And if you had unsubscribed for whatever reason, you would lose that streak, and you would lose all those perks, and you would basically start from square one again. They're
Right.
changing that now, so that it is cumulative, meaning total months subscribed for the life of that account. So this is a really, really welcome change for a lot of people who had to unsub for various reasons, and it's a recognition of the amount of time and commitment they put into a channel. And so this has been seen by pretty much everybody as like, this is an amazing change.
Yeah, it's
You
something
know,
that the community has been wanting for like ever, like literally forever. I feel like.
Yep. Yeah, and they changed it so that sharing your streak is now optional. So you have to opt in to sharing your streak. So if you are one of those people who had lapsed in their subscription, then it wouldn't show you wouldn't want to show that, hey, it's only been a 1 month streak. That's not something that they felt was beneficial in any way. Right. So it will always show your total months subscribed, but an option of showing how long your streak has.
Right. So an example with that, which is in the article, is thank you for resubbing for a total of 2 months. You are currently on a streak of 2 months, right, or whatever it might be, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I've seen plenty of subscribers just come back and like, hey, look, you've got like a 2-year badge and you've been gone for like a few months. Like that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like you built up so much, time to get to that point. It's great that you still have it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too, because I've been like, so another thing they kind of changed with this that's very small and subtle is that if you've subscribed to a channel or gotten a gifted sub to a channel, but you currently aren't subbed to them, when you enter the channel, instead of the top right button saying subscribe, it will say resubscribe. And it's kind of funny because I went to like a couple of channels where like sometimes I'll watch them nowadays, or like I'll just kind of lurk for maybe 30 minutes here or there. And it's kind of funny seeing that resubscribe button up there. And I click it. I was like, oh, I used to be a 6-month sub here, or I used to be a 3-month sub here. You know what I mean? Like I went to, like at one point, some guy gifted me, I believe, in like a pretty big streamer stream. And I guess like if I were to resub right now, I would get the 3-month badge. It's kind of funny just to kind of like see that type of stuff or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's totally cool.
Another thing that also has been upgraded that is kind of like missing in the article, but I read the whole thing because I'm like that, is that you can the grace period to continue your subscription and maintain a sub streak is now 7 days, whereas previously it was, I believe, 3 days.
It was like 21 days.
Wait, it's shorter now?
Yeah, it's shorter.
Oh,
so
I didn't
the
know
grace
that.
period before,
I thought it was
like
shorter and they increased. Okay, cool. That's all you're on here.
Yeah, I believe it was 21 days.
Okay.
There was, I think, yeah. So previously, like the 21 days was to allow for you to like resub without breaking your streak. And since now that's not really much of a problem anymore,
right,
they shortened it. I don't know, like whether that like helps or hurts.
I don't know. I think that's fine, to be honest. In my Streamlabs now, even now when I have people come in and resub, it even tells me that they have been subbed for 15 months total. It doesn't even say the sub streak, even though in my Twitch chat it will show the sub streak if they opt into it. So I think like Twitch is just kind of like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Side note on that, in the same article, I don't know why they mentioned this, but they updated the viewer cards. So that's when you click on someone's username in chat or whatever. They've updated the user cards to show the follow date and the account created date. The account created is only visible to channel mods and the broadcaster, though.
Yeah, I like this change too, actually.
I do like that change as well.
Yeah, this should have been lumped in with like the moderator tools, to be honest, because this is helpful for just seeing if someone's just trying to be a troll, just getting a rise out of chat, and they've just created the account that day.
It will
So
also
it's
mention
helpful.
like how if they were previously subbed. So for example, I clicked on a bot that is in my channel that I've created. It was created on December 18th, 2017. It followed on January 13th, 2018, and it was previously subbed for 2 months. So that's just kind of
Mhm.
a little information beforehand. You needed to have some type of Franker Face Z or some type of better Twitch TV add-ons for that type of stuff. Now it's totally built and integrated in.
Mhm.
Um, a couple other things I guess we should mention with this article is that the announcement message that is broadcasted within the chat when you guys resub and whatever, there are different icons now as well.
Yes.
You will see a different icon depending on the type of sub. A star is for a paid sub, a gift is for a gift sub, and a prime crown is for obviously prime subs. So this is just when it announces in chat, so and so has resubscribed, it will show a little star, gifts icon or prime crown depending on what it is. So just kind of a little cool little perk.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then I guess kind of very quickly with the last thing, also with the resub or subscribe button, if you go to the top right corner and you click it, it actually shows you a bit more information now than before. If you're currently subscribed, it'll actually have like kind of a little cool little progress bar that shows you
Mm.
like what month you're currently on and what the next sub badge is going to be and like how far or how close you are to getting that new sub badge. So that's pretty cool as well. You guys can see what your progress is and see what the next upcoming sub badge is if you really care about that type of stuff as well.
And yeah, you can actually resubscribe from that page.
Yeah.
From
Without popping out of the
yeah,
stream, right?
yeah, any expired subscriptions, you actually have a tab for that for everybody that you've ever subscribed to at any point in time. And it
Right.
shows progress for all of them, and you can just like click and resubscribe from there immediately.
Right. But yeah, next article that we're going to be talking about is actually emotes and other channels. And this one's not very titled very well, but I think this was something that was pretty cool that wasn't really mentioned a lot. And once again, on Twitter only. If you guys really want information on a lot of articles that we get stuff from, it's literally just from, for some reason, at Twitch support on Twitter. A lot of these articles don't have their own articles on the official Twitch blog or something like that. So that would be, a shout out to them. But anyway, they tweeted out over on January 12th, 2019, "Hey guys, we are testing a new feature that makes it easy to learn more about emotes by clicking on them in chat. If you don't have the feature yet, don't worry. We hope to roll it out to everyone in the coming weeks. Please let us know what you think. Happy emote hunting." I actually really liked this feature like a lot. Essentially, if someone types an emote in chat, you are able to click on it and get a little pop-up window or card that they call it of everything about the emote and where it's actually from and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah, like so. Yeah, if you see an emote that really looks cute or like amazing, you can click on it. You can find out more about where that emote comes from, and it's great for just visibility for that channel.
hmm
And
yeah,
not only that, but it's great for the person who illustrated that emote too, if they were commissioned for that, because not only does it help the streamer, it also helps the artist because it promotes them as well.
right.
So I think it's great all around.
Yeah. So, for example, I just posted my own in my own chat right now, and a little card comes up when I click on it. It says what the code ID is, Ryan QW. It shows the emote blown up to a bigger size. So there are some emotes where you're like, what the heck is that? You can't really tell what it is or whatever. You can now see a more blown up, detailed version of it. I believe this is the 128 by 128 submission that they give you. There will also be a little box that will show you the channel. So it shows Ryan Kubo. It shows that I'm currently live because we are streaming live right now. And it will also show you other emotes that you could get from a tier 1 sub emote or whatever type of tier it is, as well as you can actually follow the channel or subscribe right from this little card. Pretty neat. I really like it. I heard the only backlash from this so far has been people complaining about that people are advertising in other people's channels now with their emotes, and it's easier to do. But I feel like anyone's going to complain about that all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not really an issue, I don't think.
Yeah. But I think I agree with you on the changes and stuff like that. I wish there was more of a visible way to show. I think this would have to be on the streamer's end, but it would be nice for there to be maybe like some type of little like smaller line in the box or even just a little added text line that says who commissioned the emote. You know what I
That
mean?
would be
And
nice
maybe
too.
link to their channel as well. I
Yeah.
think would be
No,
kind of
that would
nice. That would probably be something on the end of the streamer to have to do though, to input that for each and every emote.
be.
But still,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It'll
it
be.
shouldn't be that hard to make. But
It wouldn't be hard. It'd be a bit of a hassle to like keep that updated, but nah, it's. I would really like to see that.
yeah, same. I feel like a lot of emote artists don't get a lot of credit for a lot of stuff that they do and stuff like that, providing
Hmm.
their emotes and content or whatever.
Yeah,
This
for
kind of
sure.
brought up kind of something that I wanted to springboard on you. But so there's always this issue with people like complaining or whatever you want to call it with affiliate emotes, and I don't know if you've like noticed that or like seen that or whatever. But what do you
Mhm.
personally think about like affiliates using their own emote in someone else's chat? Because it seems to me that like you can, if you're a partnered streamer, you can go to someone else's chat, right? And
Mhm.
just be like, hey guys, what's up? And you always see them spamming like their own not spamming but using their own emotes, right? But
Mhm.
then I feel like there's kind of a negativity or a stigma when an affiliate goes to someone else's chat, be a partnered streamer, whatever, and all of a sudden they're shunned or they get in
Mhm.
trouble for like advertising their channel. And that's kind of
Mhm.
why I brought this up earlier, is because now with this card thing, that's what people are claiming other people are doing, or that's the issue that it causes. What do you think about the whole thing? For me personally, I don't care. But I don't know if you had a dog in this type of fight.
Yeah. I mean, is the negativity coming from the streamers themselves, or is it just the
No, just from the
community?
it's the community or the chat as always, right?
Honestly, I don't really mind it. I mean, emotes are meant to be used. It doesn't matter if they're a partner or an affiliate. They're
Or your
emotes, and
own or
they're
whatever, yeah.
yeah, like a person's emotes aren't meant to be only used on that channel itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to be used globally.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like whether it's an affiliate or partner, I don't think there's a difference. Sure, like people can say they're advertising if they're using them, like just spamming the crap out of them. And
Right,
sure,
of
yeah,
course.
that's going to be
That's
an issue.
always not allowed for anyone,
Yeah,
regardless of
that's
status, right?
right. That's like always an issue. So I think just like using it like in chat, especially if you're not a subscriber, like how are you advertising? Like you're
Right.
just using them because you can't use that channel as emotes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a problem with it. I think it's kind of a weird thing to say that they're advertising.
Right.
Like that's not really blatant. That's just like, okay, you just have an emote and you want to use it.
Right.
It's like what am I supposed to do? Just not use it? Like that's silly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's just something that I thought was kind of interesting that's been kind of like in the rumblings of the community or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um I guess actually not lastly I should say, but next up, kind of before I guess we get into like kind of the meat and potatoes of what I really wanted to talk about this podcast or whatever.
Hmm.
Um I thought this was really, really interesting, and it's something to pertain to the Overwatch League. But Overwatch League is back, baby, tomorrow. It starts for some reason on Valentine's Day here in the United States. And
Okay.
I'm not a huge Overwatch fan. I play it casually nowadays. I was very, very invested into it. But I thought this was really, really cool. And I would highly recommend for anyone to check out the show notes to watch kind of like the little preview of it or whatever. But essentially, and unfortunately, this is behind a paywall, it seems. So unfortunately, you'll have to pay out. But if you guys didn't know, there's this thing called the Overwatch League Pass, where if you pay for it, you can start a 48-hour trial right now, or you can pay the $15, I believe, for the pass, which gets it for the whole 2019 year. And you get a couple
Hmm.
of perks, but one of the perks that they're now talking about is an updated spectator mode called Command Center. In the article that is in the show notes, you guys can check out the 30-second video. But basically, you can pretty much watch any person's field of view, which is, I think, really, really cool.
Oh,
So
nice.
Overwatch is a 6v6 game. You can say, hey, I only want to watch the tank's perspective. Hey, I only want to watch the healer's perspective. Hey, I only want to watch so-and-so's perspective. Or I want to watch an individual player's perspective the whole time in first person or
Hmm.
third person mode. And that's
Mm.
going to be all done through twitch.tv/Overwatch League when you go there. So I don't know. I just thought that was really, really cool integration. And I'm kind of
Hmm.
hoping that this type of stuff spills out into like not just Overwatch League, but into other esports.
Yeah, I was just
Um,
thinking that.
it's a
Like,
very cool viewer experience, or even to just normal broadcasters. That would be really
oh
cool.
yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, just thinking of like the applications within Overwatch itself, it's pretty chaotic. I mean, you've watched these
Hmm.
competitive matches and stuff's going on all the time, and you're not necessarily in control of like what you're seeing.
Right.
So you're always kind of disoriented because you're always changing viewpoints, and you're always saying to yourself, "Where am I? What's going on?"
Right.
Like, so the fact that you can stick with one player and just kind of like go through the entire match with just that one player, it helps you kind of focus and make sense of what you're seeing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're right, it totally spills over to any other game, and like the applications of this could be very huge, especially if you want to like learn specific person's like strategies or something like that. They found like
Hmm.
a new like a place to snipe from or whatever. This could be really fantastic.
Yeah, I really like it. Unfortunately, like I said, it's behind a paywall. You do need to pay $15, but if you guys are pretty big fans of Overwatch or the Overwatch esports scene, it's highly worth
Mhm.
it. It's $15 for the whole season, and literally a season is a calendar year pretty much. It starts tomorrow,
Mm.
February, and the league will end around the league usually ends a little bit before BlizzCon because they want
Mhm.
players to be in the Overwatch World Cup. So you usually have it ending around like the end of October. So I mean, it's for $15. You get this type of command center that you're going to be able to view from, and then you also get let's see here, you get 200 Overwatch League tokens, which is $10 of value already. 20% off all Overwatch League merch, ad-free viewing. You also get to talk to only other pass holders who've bought this. You get 3
Mm.
themed emotes and 2 exclusive chat badges, and also 500 bonus bits. So
That's
technically,
like
you're getting your
basically,
$15 back. You're just getting it
yeah.
in other different virtual currencies. $10 for
Yeah.
Overwatch, $5 for Twitch chat. So go
Yeah,
check
that's
that out.
great.
I'm really crossing my fingers this technology goes to just other esports, to
Hmm.
other type of type of stuff. The Twitch rivals thing has been happening on Twitch a lot lately, where every streamer has to stream their perspective. And I never go to twitch.tv/Twitch rivals, right? I never go to it because I just go to the person I want to watch and watch their stream of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be really nice to not have to do that and go to like one hub. Like you can go to twitch.tv/Twitch rivals. You're giving them a view technically still, and then you can see the perspective of that streamer. I don't know. It'd be really nice. But
Yeah.
um, that's kind of all. I mean, that's not really it for our PSAs, but that's kind of all of like the new stuff that has come out in the last month that we kind of wanted to touch upon or whatever. We have a couple of articles here that I really quickly wanted to talk about though as well. I guess we can get out of the way, I should say, the newest, latest one. But TwitchCon is happening again, I guess we could say. Uh,
Again.
we talked about this earlier in our podcast. I want to say like 2 or 3 episodes ago, which for you guys is like an eternity. But TwitchCon 2019 is happening, but it is called TwitchCon Europe. Talked about this, and then we said we would update you guys when there was more information, and there was nothing. There was no
Yeah.
information for a while. And it was
Hmm.
bad. I was getting worried, and I don't plan on going, but they finally announced a few days ago when this article came out that TwitchCon Europe is happening. It's going to be in Berlin, Germany,
Hmm.
and it is going to be from April 13th to 14th. Tickets actually went on sale today. Um, which some people are actually complaining about because they're like,
Hmm.
okay, thanks. I don't think I can go now. This is a little too late for me, right? It's like 2 months out
Ugh.
and stuff like that. Like, people are like not getting hotel rooms because they wanted to hear more information about this. It's been very
Mhm.
hush hush about what this actually is and
Yeah.
what this event already is. They're advertising it as another version of TwitchCon. That's going to be the same thing as the ones we've seen in California off of the main
Hmm.
ones. But we don't really know if that's the case. We don't really know what kind of panels are going to be even. We don't really
There's
know who's going to
still,
be attending so far, from what I can
yeah.
understand from the website. They have some like little things, but they're very, very generic. Of like basically any con can be like this, right?
Right.
Um,
It's, yeah, the amount of information is still very, very low.
Yeah, like for example, this schedule for TwitchCon or whatever is just like, um, Friday is badge pickup, Twitch developer tour, partner party, and then Saturday is just registration, expo hall open, Twitch rivals, creator camp. These stages are having some talks. Keynote 1700 to 1800. And that's it. And then Sunday, registration, expos open this time. Glitch Entertainment stage 1300 to 2000 or whatever you want to call it. Creator camp, Twitch talks. That's it. There's not actually like it doesn't give any details of what is actually going to happen. It just kind of gives a general bare layout of like what the events are going to be. They have a page about their loot cave, which is pretty much their version of their physical shop. And they just said that the usual stuff will be there, as well as TwitchCon European commemorative apparel. And yeah, that's really it. They have some other stuff detailing it. They said a speedrun will be there. There'll be a partner lounge. There'll be community meeting areas, so meet and greets, obviously. I mean, it's all stuff that you would kind of expect from a con, just in Europe. But there's no details, right? There's no details of who's going to be at the meet and greet, who's even going right now, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't really
going on this.
Yeah, they got to get going on this. I don't really understand what is happening here. How do you feel about this, Pixel? What do you think?
I think part of the difficulty of like getting the special guests lineup finalized is that it's probably going to be very hard for the majority of streamers to go there.
Right.
And I think they're trying to figure out like, okay, who's actually going, who's actually booked a ticket. And when they finally get that information, then they can, put out a list and something like that. But I feel like this is not going fast enough. Like people need this kind of information in order to plan. It's 2 months away. It's literally like 2 months away, like exactly from today. And people need to get time off from work. People need to figure out flight plans and hotels. And you don't want to be waiting a month out for that, because prices will be skyrocketing within a month.
Right.
Yeah. It's probably not too much of an issue for like the EU folks, because there are more ways to get to Berlin other than a plane. So it may not be too difficult for them as far as travel plans go, but this is only going to get harder and harder for people as time goes on.
Right.
And me personally, I would want to know who's actually attending TwitchCon before I go. And if I'm going there, I want to go there to like meet somebody. And if they're not there, then I couldn't really justify it. So I kind of really need to know that way ahead of time. And I just feel like this is making it really difficult for people who are attending this convention or who want to.
Right. Yeah, it's very strange to me, because usually when TwitchCon, like the main TwitchCon happens, I remember this past year, it was really cool, because whenever a partner bought a TwitchCon badge or a ticket or whatever, they'd actually show up in this list that was searchable.
Yeah.
That showed. They don't even have this on this site from what I can tell, or this site's just really, really bad. They don't really have any details on panels that are going to be there. I mean, it's obviously just like I said, guys, the big picture is there. We obviously know what it's going to be. It's a TwitchCon, but the details of who's attending, panels that are going to be there, even just where the parties are going to be at, there's nothing really saying anything about it. That being said, tickets seem to be a little bit cheaper, I feel like, this time around. I don't know if that's just me, or if these were the prices that were usually expected to pay or whatever. But a one-day pass is roughly $45, which I think is pretty cheap. As well as the main event or whatever, which is a two-day pass, is only $85, and that's converted from to United States currency to the dollar. Just FYI. But I feel like that's super cheap.
I want to say that it is, because, well, TwitchCon in the US, that was 3 days, and that was what, like $120 something dollars.
That was if you got early, yeah, 120 or so.
It works out to the same thing, because TwitchCon EU is 2 days, right. Per day it's about the same. But yeah, it is cheaper.
Right.
And I don't even know if there's a party involved. There
Um,
may not even be one.
yeah. So it does not seem like there is a party. There is a thing on the badge page that talks about comparing the badges with community, affiliate, and partners. It does seem like there is a partner party. It will be Friday night, the day before. But that is the only mention of any type of party so far from the news that we have. Who knows? They might update this in a month and say this is actually what's happening. But it does confirm that there is a partner party only on Friday night. But that is about it. It says the only thing community and affiliates get are sessions, expo hall, meet and greets, keynote, a swag bag, and TwitchCon chat badge. Partners will get the same thing, except they will also be adding a partner party, the partner shopping hours, which means partners can go in early to get swag, a partner lounge, which is where partners can go to not be bothered or whatever, and a partner backpack. So, yeah,
cool. All right. Well, lots of perks for partners.
Yeah, definitely a lot of perks for partners. Not that different from previous years and their perks or whatever. So yeah, we'll give you guys more information if there is any more information that gets updated about this.
Oh boy,
I feel like they were like trying to figure out their budget or something for the year, and it took them a while or something. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Pixel. Are you going?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a no.
Okay,
that's a pass for me.
I know you were like maybe. Like I remember you like to be fair, you did mention like maybe.
I did, and I was like, you know what? If something like crazy is going down there, if like a bunch of U.S. streamers were going on there, if my crew was going over there, then yeah, sure, I'd go. Like,
right.
I always wanted to visit Germany. Like, it sounds like a really fun time. But I mean, you know me, I only go if there's people that I know that are going.
Right. Yeah.
So if I can't go to like just hang out with them, then it's okay. No, it's not for me.
Right. I feel you. All right. I think second to last article that we're gonna be talking about here or whatever. But spoiler alert, Pixel. People really like Twitch.
Ooh.
In 2018.
Really?
I don't know if you knew about this.
It's kind of weird, man.
A lot of people. Apparently 9.36 billion hours of content were streamed and consumed and all this good stuff on Twitch or whatever. Apparently that's how much they watched or whatever. And that growth is over 25% in 2017. I think the numbers are just really, really interesting. There's a guide here that you guys can check out in the article itself, which is definitely something you should probably follow along with. But it kind of compares the numbers of 2018 versus 2017. They're saying it's about a 31% growth or whatever. In comparison, Mixer, which is the Microsoft version of Twitch, they only had 167 million hours watched in 2018. But that's up 179% in 2017. Hey. To be fair, they were acquired around the beginning of 2018 by Microsoft. And Microsoft has basically, from my understanding of Mixer, it's pretty much integrated into everything. Apparently, a new version of Windows 10 is going to even come out where you just press a button, you start instantly streaming from Mixer.
Interesting.
Apparently on Xbox consoles, as long as you have an Xbox Live, you press a button, you can instantly be starting a stream on Mixer. Whereas with Twitch, you would have to like set it all up and stuff like that and make an account. So there is that. YouTube Gaming's live content earned 2.3 billion hours, which is 25% of what Twitch accomplished. However, YouTube Gaming saw more growth than Twitch between 2017 and 2018, increasing those hours watched by 104%. And then, Twitch's numbers is about 30% growth or whatever, but they're the king at 9.36 billion hours of content being watched.
That's a lot. I can't even imagine 9.3 billion hours of anything.
Yeah, really. So I wanted to kind of break down just kind of, how much the gaming landscape has changed in the last year, as well as I just thought some of the games were really funny that were on here on 2018 and weren't on here in 2017, vice versa, right? So I'm not going to go with numbers and all that stuff because it's a lot of numbers. But in 2017, the top 10 games that were watched, number 1 was League of Legends in 2017. Number 2, PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Number 3 was Dota 2. Number 4 was Counter-Strike. 5 was Hearthstone. 6 was Overwatch. 7 was the IRL category. before it broke off. Number 8 was WoW. 9 was GTA 5. Remember, that was really popular in 2017 because of the RP servers that came out during that time that kind of just blew up on Twitch. And number 10, H1Z1 King of the Hill, which I just find pretty funny.
Good old H1.
Good old
Still
H1
hanging in there.
But in 2018, we have a new game on top, which was Fortnite.
Who would have
that kind
guessed?
of blew out on the scene. Number 2 was League. Number 3 was Just Chatting / IRL. Number 4 was Dota 2. So everything kind of like went down a peg, right? Number 5, though, so this one took a pretty big hit. PlayerUnknown's Battleground. They took a pretty substantial hit, actually. They went down from 538 to 473. Or no, to 454, I mean. Number 6 was
73.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, you're right.
No, 454, yeah. Number 6 was Counter-Strike. Number 7 was Hearthstone. 8 was Overwatch. 9 was WoW. And then number 10 was GTA RP. Yeah, I just think these numbers are ridiculous. I think it's also interesting that like three of the games are from the same company.
Yeah.
Right? Like Blizzard Entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, combined, it takes up about 1 billion views, actually, 1 billion hours.
Yeah.
That's insane. But it still hasn't toppled Fortnite at 1.35 billion.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I think what I thought the most interesting thing about this article was, to be honest, is that Hearthstone beat Overwatch in time watched. I just thought that was really interesting because Overwatch had Overwatch League come out this year and last year, right? Like they were pushing Overwatch League a lot.
Yeah.
And it's weird that like Hearthstone, is kind of this game that like, it's very old now, like compared to Overwatch, right? And that it's still like kind of chugging along. It's like 4 or 5 years and doesn't really have developed esports team. They don't really get pushed, advertised a lot by Blizzard compared to Overwatch League, and yet they beat it out by like 50 million hours plus. Yeah. I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, and you look at the numbers though. Overwatch did increase over the year. They increased by 60 million hours.
Yeah.
So maybe.
But then Hearthstone dipped, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
But still inked it out, so it's weird.
And World of Warcraft increased by 130, close to 130 million.
Yeah, which I think is crazy as well. Well, that's because of the expansion.
New expansion, yeah.
New expansion did come out, to be fair.
True.
So
kind of skews the numbers a little bit.
Right. H1, rest in peace, buddy.
I'm sorry.
I just think that's interesting that number 10 in 2017 was 82 million, and now number 10 was GTA 5 with 147.
Yeah, and that just goes to show that more and more people are just coming to Twitch, and it's probably people from outside the normal gaming sphere, because we're probably getting a lot of people who aren't normally into watching streams, and they're starting to because of things like Fortnite and Just Chatting.
Yeah, Fortnite, Just Chatting, I think it just really pushed it to a lot. I don't know. I thought these numbers were interesting. Apparently a lot of people like Twitch or something like that. But
that's why we're doing this.
Apparently. All right, last article of this episode, guys, unfortunately. But, I just wanted to take a road down memory lane, to an event that cemented me in loving Twitch. It cemented me in... It made my friends understand why people watch other people play video games. It was very community driven, and it's not Bob Ross painting, but shout out to him. Shout out to that streamer. We're going back. It has been, as of February 12th, it has been 5 years, which I think is crazy. It's been 5 years since Twitch plays Pokemon, which I did not think it came out 5 years ago.
I didn't think so too. I'm thinking back to 5 years ago. What is that? Okay, so it's 2014. I'm thinking back to where I was 2014. I'm like, what? I remember watching this, but I can't remember actually thinking that it was 2014. It's crazy.
Yeah, it actually is pretty nuts.
And if I really think about it, this is probably what actually got me into Twitch in the first place. Because I don't remember being on Twitch before this point. There was no reason to be.
Right.
And from there, I started watching all these other streams, and I have to say, this is what got me to Twitch. This is it. Like
Really?
right
You
here.
you would say that?
I would 100% say this. I probably wouldn't be on Twitch for any other reason. This piqued my interest.
Right, right. So for all you people who are new to Twitch and don't know what the heck we're talking about, there was a channel, and it's still around actually. It's just not the same. It doesn't have as much charm, in my opinion. Called Twitch Plays Pokemon, and it was an interactive channel that started on February 12th, 2014, where basically a Twitch bot would play and complete Pokemon Red controlled entirely by viewers who ordered the bot to press certain buttons by typing commands in the live chat. Chaos of the most entertaining order broke out. Thousands overran the chat with simplistic orders of button inputs, and Twitch Plays demanded frequent check-ins and hours of participation from viewers. I think it peaked like very, very high at the time of what it was, right? And I think eventually they
Yeah.
did leave, right?
Leave as in they
Or sorry,
they
we ended up like beating beating it, right? The
yeah,
game was
no,
beaten eventually, right?
right, because this game was running for like a good week or two,
Yeah.
and it took forever to get anywhere.
Oh, it was awful.
Like there was that one point where you were going over this like ledge, and you had the possibility of going into like a tunnel or something, or jumping off, and
Yeah.
they kept jumping off, and they had to keep going around again and going back up this hill, only
Yeah.
to jump off again.
Every single time, dude. It was so annoying. No, I remember this. You know, a lot of memes came from this or whatever. I thought was pretty funny. You know, if you guys didn't know, we had a Venomoth named AATTVVV, and he was called All Train Venomoth ATV. He was also our flyer. And you know, the reason why that spawned was because they kept going into the menu system, and it's like, you can't fly here. And chat was like, you don't understand. We have an all-terrain Venomoth. We had a Lapras that they called the Prince. They named him Air Jordan because his name was AIIIIIIRRR. So they named him Air Jordan because apparently he could move really fast in the water. I forgot what it was. We had a Nidoking named the Fawns. Only reason why he was named that is because if you look at his you know, sprite in Pokemon Red and Blue, it literally looks like he's doing the Fawns move.
Well, isn't that also like his name too? It was just like a string of A's.
Yeah, it was a bunch of A's as well. So I was gonna say that. Yeah, it was a bunch of A's, like A as well. We had Battery Jesus, which was the Zapdos, which was just AA-J. Was
so
his name.
double A's, double A batteries.
Double A batteries. We had Bird Jesus, which was a Pidgeot named AAABAAAJSS. So yeah, I guess the JSS because of Jesus, right? And
Pretty much.
and then we had who they called God, our Lord and Savior, Lord Helix, aka
Ammonite.
aka Ammonite, because for some reason they didn't nickname that one. It just brings back great memories, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm really sorry, but essentially what would happen in the playthrough, because there was thousands upon thousands of people controlling the game at one time. One of the items that you get in Pokemon Red and Blue is either a Dome Fossil or a Helix Fossil, and it is considered a key item in the game which you cannot throw away. Now, because of that, if you opened up your inventory and you go to it and try to throw it away, it says that this is too important, you can't throw this away, right? So a meme spread pretty early on in the playthrough because basically all of Twitch chat had thrown out every item. And somehow the Helix Fossil is one of the first key items you get, so it's always in the first slot of your bag. It was never thrown out, so a lot of the times players would get to the bag, try to use an item, but then they would just constantly be using the Helix Fossil, and they called it consulting the Helix Fossil. Right? And they would consult it for advice. You know, near the end of the game, you actually go to a laboratory where you can revive the fossil that you get early on in the game, and it revives into an actual Pokemon. And yeah, it got revived. And you know, God returned or whatever on Earth or whatever, and there's a whole thing about it or whatever. So yeah.
There was some really great battles too, actually.
Yeah, there were some pretty, like, I just remember like this time where like needed like a double crit to win and it happened or something like that. I remember a couple of things. Yeah,
there's one fight where it couldn't have gone better. Like, so it was like Venomoth against a Dragonite,
Mm-hmm.
and the way the AI works is it always uses like whatever's strong against that type. So Venomoth's poison type, and Dragonite had some psychic moves. So it kept using psychic moves against Venomoth. But the thing was, those moves didn't do any damage. So
Nice.
it kept using like
Good job, chat.
agility or stuff like that,
Right,
and just like
right.
like raising its speed, and it was just not attacking and doing any damage whatsoever. And so Venomoth landed like a poison on it, and that's all it did the entire fight.
Nice.
And it took forever, but that Dragonite passed out just from poison alone.
Yeah,
And the
poison was
Dragonite,
pretty OP in the originals. So,
oh, it was so
um,
good.
yeah, I just remember like a lot of my friends who weren't really into Twitch at the time. I remember going to like were into it and watching a lot. I remember hanging out at a college dorm at the time of somebody that I used to talk to, and they had it up on the projector in their like
Mm.
common room with like a
Oh wow.
laptop there. And so like people were taking turns inputting stuff or just kind of gather around in the common room watching
Yeah.
this, like people who didn't know what Twitch was and stuff.
I
Um,
remember watching this at work. I
yeah.
remember very, very clearly watching this at work. And yeah, this was like very early on in my new job too, actually.
Hmm.
And I was like sitting at my desk watching this like, oh my god, this is like all this nostalgia and all this like amazing interaction. I'm just like typing commands in there like A up down.
The delay is all
Like
bad and scuffed and stuff as
yeah,
well.
I had no idea if any of that was working, but this was like I had this in like the corner of my screen, just like watching this while I was working. Like it was amazing.
Right, right.
I forget how I heard about it too. Like it
I
must have
don't
been like
remember. It was like on Reddit and stuff too. I feel like it was just everywhere. Like news articles
yeah.
report about it. Reddit. I think I probably heard it from, and I went there. Like I was still kind of
Hmm.
on Twitch, but like I wasn't very invested as well.
Hmm.
Because I remember back then it was definitely like League and StarCraft 2 were like the games to play. Like
Right.
where the big
And
games streamed. So I didn't really watch Twitch actually all that much.
yeah.
Probably until after that event.
Hearthstone was starting to
Hearthstone was just starting,
take
so maybe I was
legs.
watching a lot of that as well. Actually, now that I think about it, but
Um, yeah, Hearthstone was I think still in beta around then, and it wasn't until like April to June where it started to really like pick up speed and become
mhm,
like one of the top games. But
right.
it was definitely up there like for a while,
Hmm.
and that's when I started like coming onto Twitch and just like really getting into Twitch culture and just like watching streamers. It was because of Hearthstone.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, it just kind of end it. This is a pretty big event. It was really fun to see. I hope that you guys go and check it out for sure. Some really good memories there. Just FYI, the channel still does actually operate at twitch.tv/Twitch plays Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's not that big anymore. They have changed a couple of things, etc. Currently, right now, it has about 263 people playing it right now, so definitely not to the height it was. A lot of it being
Mhm.
that just not as much nostalgia for the newer games. They've gone through almost every game at this point as well.
Right.
Also, around 2017, the person who originally created Twitch Plays Pokemon actually stepped away over
Oh.
some
Huh.
controversy from alleged of doxing of other members who helped make the bot or something like that. I don't know if that's true, but he stepped away either way, allegedly or whatever. So the bot the stream for it nowadays looks a little bit better. You can see what the bot is actually reading. From what I understand, though, they've changed a couple of things with players receiving things like tokens in badges
Hmm.
to increase their influence. So apparently, it's kind of gotten in a way pay to win, where
Hmm.
subscribers can spam but plebs cannot and stuff like that. And depending on their bit badges and stuff, they get a little bit more influence and stuff as well.
Oh, that's
So
lame. That
yeah,
sucks.
a little bit lame, but they're trying to figure out what to do. They've gone through some Pokemon Stadium. They've gone through pretty much every Pokemon game at this point. But the channel's still up and running if you want to check it out and get some nostalgia and stuff like that. And yeah, that's twitch.tv/Twitch plays Pokemon. But yeah, I wanted to end it on that because nostalgia. And really just, I think, an honorary thing. I think that in Bob Ross. I think that, Bob Ross, and Season 3 League Finals are like the 3 moments in my Twitch history that I was like, this is dope. You know?
Very much so.
For sure.
So many good memories.
There was. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of the Deep Thoughts podcast. I appreciate you guys all coming out here. Once again, sorry that we actually haven't been able to really, unfortunately, do as many episodes. Like I said, there's just not as much news, but I thank you guys for anyone who came out today and hung out. I appreciate that. And who's still listening and subscribed, I appreciate that as well. Like I said, guys, we will probably be doing an episode maybe once a month. Hopefully at least once a month. Maybe sooner if more controversies or something, or more stuff comes out or whatever. But if you guys want to know, you can go to DTHOUGHTS pod on Twitter for updates on the Deep Thoughts podcast. You can also go to YouTube if you want to check out the unedited VODs as well at Shigeos Twitch TV. That's SHIGEOS Twitch TV if you want to check out the VODs as well for the podcast. We also live stream each and every day at twitch.tv/Ryan Kubo. And when the podcast is live as well, you can go check out all that stuff in your episode description. But more importantly, Pixel, where can they find you?
All right. Well, you can find me at my Twitch page at twitch.tv/pixel_pusher101 or my Twitter without the underscore, just pixelpusher101.
How the stream is going, Pixel?
Oh, they're going fantastic. I haven't started.
Pixel will eventually stream, guys, okay? Trust me.
He's
been baiting you guys for 16 episodes, but it will eventually happen or whatever.
Baiting ever since the start of 2018, baby.
Yeah, man. As for me, you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, or Instagram at Ryan Kubo, all lowercase, all one word, RYANKUBO. And yeah, like I said, as always, we're on Spotify and iTunes, so go check us out there. You can check out the episode description for more information. It's in the show notes where you can find us, guys. But thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it. Hopefully we will be back sooner than a month, but if not, we'll see you in a month. Guys, probably talk more TwitchCon Berlin. Take care, guys.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. Till next time.